Welcome back, terrestrials. In this episode, we're doing 19. Well, all right. First of all, thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you for all the likes, the comments. We appreciate it. We were doing a remake series run on just like remakes and talking about them, and I feel like it's run its course. We've done the best of the best, with the exception of a few. So we're just moving on. And one subscriber mentioned we should watch Blue Monkey.
Blue Monkey.
So we're doing Blue Monkey from 1987. Jerry, what do you grade this movie?
All right, before we grade though,
Okay, all right.
okay, I wanna hit on a home basis on this. Okay. I'm gonna say a statement and like a gentleman's agreement on the statement. Just tell me if it's true or false before I grade this. Okay.
Okay.
All right. The statement is, are all movies created equal?
No, some are Canadian.
No, okay. Okay, yes. Okay,
No,
so
I mean, I think no, movies are not created equal. And then also not all movies are given the same opportunity.
right.
So
Right. So under that pretenses, okay, so we can say that all movies are not created equal. So when we're grading this in a tier system, I wouldn't put this movie's grade next to like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre or Halloween, in that tier system. I would put this in like a true
but okay,
classic sense.
so you have to grade them on the same tier.
I'm
That's
but
the
that no.
point of the tier. You can't go, here's the A movies, S through F, and here's the low budget
Here's
S
the
A
B
S through the
movies.
right. No, yeah,
Because
you
this
can't do
is
that because the tier system itself is the ranking order. You can't rank the ranking order and then rank within the ranking order.
like
That's ludicrous, Jerry.
all movies are not created equal.
I
And
agree
so,
with you. I agree with you. But the
okay,
ranking system still, all numbers are not created equal, but they still fall in line somewhere between the other numbers.
okay.
There's not like a second set of numbers that are like these aren't the good, like so
So,
you still have to file it into the same filing cabinet as the rest of them.
okay. So I'm still filing it in the same cabinet. Okay.
Well, yeah,
All right. In that sense, all
sure.
right, where I will grade this is a
Mhm.
C.
Oh, really? Okay. All right.
Yes. I will put it in the C category. Good enough in the middle, you know. There it goes. Okay. So, what do you grade this, Jacob?
I honestly think like a C is a good place to put it.
Okay.
I could very easily go C minus or D if I was being a dick about it.
Okay.
But I mean, this is this is like a safe, low budget horror movie.
It's a
Or
classic B. It's a
yeah,
classic B movie.
exactly.
It
Some mutation, some alien
there's a
form. Yeah.
there's a A version of this movie, an Alien,
Yeah.
and then there's a knockoff called Blue Monkey,
Yeah.
made in Canada,
Yeah.
and that's the B movie. And I'm watching this today, and obviously this is like my like second time watching this, and I was just like, holy shit, this is fucking like a true B movie
Mhm.
in the sense of I can tell you an A version of this, and my like lightning hit my brain. That's why I had to do the statement earlier because I was like, okay, if this is like the B tier of B movies, it's not that bad.
Right. Um and it's not that bad. The thing that like the biggest thing that I could not get over, because like yeah, it's it's all the same beats. There's some introduction of a foreign thing that nobody can explain. The lady says that this plant comes from, Micronesia
Yeah,
and,
some made up place.
whatever. And then, so it's introduced into the town's, system. It's contagious, blah, 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 quarantine, blah, 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 alien, blah, blah, blah. The thing I could not get over was the main doctor's terrible acting. I mean, her delivery on so many things, I was just like, what the fuck?
Really? We're gonna
Like,
do it like that? Yeah.
yeah, like she
And
just didn't like there was like the thing was coming out of the old man's mouth and she was like she just had this like look on her face like really
yeah, Detective Man
uh
was just sitting there like, I don't even know what you just said to me. But
yeah,
but
yeah.
that brings up a good point because what I had a hard time with her was that a wig or was that her hair? Because it just didn't feel like hair. It's sitting that far back on her head. It felt like a wig.
Some people just got big ass foreheads.
Yep.
I don't know. I didn't that didn't really catch me as I
Because
didn't
I kept
notice it.
staring at it, being like, that looks like a wig.
I mean, she's
Fucking
got blonde hair in real life, so
yeah. And just because I think they were trying to make her be Sigourney Weaver with the
are you
curly
talking about
hair.
oh okay, no, I'm talking about the main doctor with the glasses. The
Oh, the
main
okay,
ER
yeah,
doctor.
that's
Her
that's the
deliveries were
quarantine.
like,
So yeah,
yeah, yeah.
there's two. There's the
Okay, yeah,
quarantine
and then the
doctor
Sigourney
and
Weaver
then the
girl.
Sigourney
Okay.
Weaver
Okay, yeah.
doctor.
Yeah, so yeah, the one with the glasses I consider the main doctor because she starts the movie. This other doctor is only a doctor because Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
Like that's the only purpose she serves. But yeah, so yeah, that main doctor, the doctor with the big glasses, she was just
The
like
quarantine
I
one,
was
yeah.
just like, what? Why is like she just seems so disinterested, so unconcerned. I was just like, yeah, all right, whatever, dude. Um,
Yeah. Like she just like she starts in hot and like she's just like taking control and then it's like, oh, we only have her for like 2 weeks compared to like the 36 weeks we have on shooting. So just film
she
all
just
her shit real quick
she
so
just
we
kept
can do
popping
Sigourney
up.
Weaver. Yeah. Yeah.
She kept popping up throughout the movie, and then she's like the one that figures out like, oh, alcohol.
Oh,
No,
booze.
it's just
Yeah,
friends.
booze. Fucking
But
we'll get
yeah,
to that.
that curly head doctor, I was like, what are you? Who are you? Where did you come? Because she wasn't in the movie, and then all of a sudden she was in the movie, and it was like, wait, what happened? Like, I think she was like in the like the lab where they go cut open the little turd. It looked like Mr. Hanky dried up, but
Yeah.
she was there, but she came from nowhere and she just was in the movie all of a sudden. They didn't introduce her, they didn't say what she did,
She
who
was
she
there in the
was, like
beginning, like she was there,
yeah,
but it was the blonde-headed main doctor who was
right,
like taking control, and
yeah.
she was just kind of, and then like once once the detective and his partner, who got shot came in, then blonde-headed doctor was still on old man, and the Sigourney Weaver doctor went over and was dealing with that,
Mhm.
yeah, that guy, which
Right.
that man,
Mhm.
the sidekick or whatever, fucking his partner, he had the littlest nipples in the world. If you looked at it and stuff, they're just
I
tiny ass
didn't.
fucking nipples. Like,
You mean
whoa, dude.
the shot cop?
Yeah, the shot cop,
No, I didn't
fucking,
see him.
he just got these little ass nipples. It was like,
Okay.
damn, man, I'm sorry.
Um,
Fucking another thing I noticed about this movie, came in hot. No title, no nothing. Fucking just like
just started.
we're on a street and they're just rolling credits because I think they didn't know what the fuck to call this movie.
Well, apparently the movie was called Green Monkey initially,
Yeah,
but they changed the name to Blue Monkey because green monkeys were thought to have caused AIDS in
AIDS.
Africa. So, and it was also released in some countries as Insect.
Insect. Yeah. And it's like,
So,
sounds like a better fucking title. Fucking than
but
Blue Monkey.
yeah, it's a little bit more on the nose. But I think that that is a positive in this movie is like we know this movie ain't good. We're not gonna set up a bunch of fucking talking. Like we're not gonna do it's just
Right.
like boom, let's get right into it. Because you're in the hospital. The guy is coughing up the turd within fifteen,
He doesn't
ten,
cough it
fifteen
up.
minutes.
He's sitting there, he goes, and then the next shot is him just having this thing in his
Yeah,
mouth.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just like,
yeah.
it's just,
Um, uh but yeah, within 10, 15 minutes of the movie
yeah,
starting, that's happening.
yeah.
So it just jumps right into the movie, which for for to its credit, that's good.
Yeah.
I think
Fucking
that the acting is hilarious. The kids are ridiculous. Like anybody that's willing to put the little leukemia kid in harm's way.
Oh my God, did you hear what he said? Or what the nurse said about him? His parents just kind of dropped him off
Dropped
and
him here.
forgot
Yeah.
about him. I'm like, what kind of fucking asshole parents would
Yeah.
just drop their
Yeah.
leukemia kid off?
Yeah,
Just like, yeah,
exactly.
you fucking deal with it. We're
Um
going away this weekend. Fuck.
yeah. At the end I was like, did this cop adopt him? Like because it sounded like when they were like rounding the corner and the cop was like getting ready to leave, she
Yeah,
was like, you take good care of him. And he was like, oh, I will. And I couldn't tell if they were talking about his partner that didn't fucking matter throughout the entire movie
right.
or the little kid, because then that's when the little kid goes, Mr. Cop Man,
Yeah.
you
You're my
leaving?
best friend.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
starts
Yeah.
grabbing his shoulder like, this is getting awkward. I think I'm just gonna go play with my friends now. So, um, yeah, we got the hospital on the outside. All exterior shots are shot. They look like a library. They try to play it off as a fucking mental institution that was constructed during the Civil War. My brain automatically went to, I don't know, that just doesn't seem sanitary to me. Fucking like it's like, yeah, we're not going to that hospital. Fucking they got like a leaky basement and shit. Fucking fuck
Well,
that
that
place.
it's funny because the at one point they make the statement of like, well, the we may look like we're old fashioned or something, but we're pretty up on the technology or something. And then they walk into a laser room.
Oh yeah, the
Uh,
laser facility. Let's get to the
yeah,
high-tech
yeah,
art
dude.
laser facility because that
I
shit's
literally
fucking
saw
amazing.
the exact same thing, the exact same setup on the Orville.
Yeah.
So like it was on a spaceship in the future, that exact same room. So I don't know how the fuck they had it in
I
1987
don't know.
in dumpy ass wherever.
No.
But yeah, I was
Did you,
when they were in there and it was like shooting like the laser into the vial, I was like, what? What
what
is
is this
this?
for? What is
Yeah,
this
what are you
for,
doing? And
guys?
then it breaks, and she's just like, ha, ha, ha.
Huh.
The only thing you can assume is that was blood, and they were shooting laser into a big jug of blood, and it broke, which now has airborne viruses
Yeah.
probably, and everybody's just like,
That's how COVID was made. Fucking this
yeah,
place in
yeah,
Canada.
yeah.
Fucking but yeah, I just love that like they show this big ass laser
Mhm.
like system and my brain's going, "Oh yeah, that's a big ass laser." And then like at the end the laser's revealed to be this worthless piece of junk that looks like
Yeah,
just a laser pointer and
yeah.
shit. This is like,
It's like
what?
the dollar store laser guns that just the tip lights red,
Right.
like just like a little light bulb in the tip of the
Right.
gun.
Yeah, it's like, "Oh, that must be the power supply." Fucking they're worried about a few flickering lights. Hey, probably because you don't have a fucking nuclear reactor put in your goddamn hospital to control your laser
Yeah,
facilities.
yeah,
Fuck. Um, yeah, the detective just inserts himself. Like I was waiting for
yeah,
all the
yeah.
nurses just to kind of like,
Like, who are you
sir,
and
can
why?
you go sit down in the waiting room? Can you please sit? We are dealing with a fucking
Yeah,
health problem right
yeah,
now. We don't need a detective here. And it's like, but I got this gun. I'm
yeah.
gonna be useful here soon. Fucking just go sit the fuck down, dude. Fucking
Um,
smoke your
speaking,
cigarettes in the fucking
yeah,
hospital.
next to the pregnant lady.
Yeah.
Speaking of the gun, why did it ricochet sparks off of this alien? Like every time he shot it, it would go like pew, and sparks would come off like he was shooting steel or
Yeah.
something, or like some conductive. And I was like, what is happening? Like, why are you what?
Because I guess
Okay,
that Zygron fucking whatever that chemical made it like indestructible fucking,
yeah, it was apparently a growth hormone.
yeah, it was fucking a MacGuffin, where but yeah, I mean, I guess they had to have a representation of we need to shoot the bug, but how are we going to shoot the bug? Oh, just shoot
And not
sparks at it,
kill it. Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of sparks, where they were cutting open the fucking little like Mr. Hanky Poo and shit, that
Yeah, yeah,
fucking thing just sparked up real
yeah.
quick, like it was like plugged into the wall and shit. And it
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like,
like they were playing Operation, but
Right,
for like with real stakes.
right.
Yeah, that shit was fucking hilarious. Uh,
It just yeah, I keep moving on. Fuck it. The sparks and shit of
yeah, it's just
the
strange
ideas of the bugs
because it even
themselves.
started sparking when the kids poured the horse hormone on it.
Yeah.
It started like I was
I
just
want to
like,
feed it.
yeah.
Is that its
Um,
food there, little Jimmy? Huh?
the the kids going in like so from the time that they cover it, like when they're like, oh shit, it's like cover it, and then they leave it in there with this like half a glass vial for some reason, like
Yeah.
but it had a cork on it, was whatever. They leave it there, they keep showing it and then showing their faces looking at it but not showing it itself,
Right.
like in this middle growth stage of before it gets the hormone and gets big. You're seeing this little, like, you don't see it actually, but you're supposed to be looking at this little bug. You're seeing like its point of view of them looking at it, and it's like, what, why can't you just show something? Like, it's,
Because they had nothing to show. Because
well, that's true, but it was good camera work of like keeping you like, oh, what is it? But what
right.
is, but at the same time it's like, motherfucker, just show me something.
Yeah.
Like you built an ant, praying mantis, cricket, roach hybrid, and you can't like just show me like a squirming goopy black thing
Maggot.
at
Yeah.
that stage, so that I can go, oh well, oh ooh, that's gonna be crazy,
Right.
but
It's
no.
the same reason why it started out as a plant that like old man was just
Yeah.
like, "Oh, touch that thing," and fucking then like it just like stabs him or something.
Yeah,
It's just like, so what are we trying to say? Is the bugs on the plant, or
yeah,
is the plant like infested with these bugs, or
yeah,
good shit? Fucking
yeah. Also,
yeah.
it was contagious, but then it's not anymore
Right.
because nobody else like got drunk except for the old women. So everybody could have been like, the one doctor picked it up with a napkin,
Yeah.
like it was a
Yeah,
fucking
that's
like a dropped
scientific.
for yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
That's
scientific. Yeah.
that's
Okay.
science. I saw that
Fucking
on Scrubs one time.
fucking
Um
Washington was getting ready to bomb that place because of this to control it. I think they were just trying to control the stupidity coming out of there. They're just
yeah.
picking it up with napkins like it was a dog shit.
Yeah.
Fuck this. Fucking
Uh
all
yeah,
right.
but yeah, all that shit. There's like that. Those are the things that make the movie a little like, when I'm watching it, I'm like, ugh. But like thinking back on it, I'm like, eh, it's kind of
Right.
like funny because it's like this is silly. Like this is not one that you watch to go, man, that was fucking good.
Yeah.
This is one that you go, huh, yeah, I saw that one too.
This is
Like,
a mystery science theater style movie
yeah,
where if you were with a group of people, you could just be throwing
oh
rips
yeah,
at it and just enjoying the not the lack of movie making ability because it's shot well and I can hear it. So the movie making ability is there, but just like, what the fuck are we doing here, guys? It's like,
hmm
I don't know. Who knows? We're gonna throw something else on the screen and see if it works. Fucking, we're trying to make aliens. Fucking, but that's really what's at the core of this movie. Of just there are bad movies and it just sucks.
hmm
Boring bad movies, and then just good bad movies, and this
yeah,
is a good bad movie.
exactly. I
You know.
agree. I agree.
Um, but after that, we get the nurse and the orderly that wants to go smoke a joint on her break to come back to do nursing and shit and
hmm
fucking
Naturally.
and the kids fucked with the bug and like the now it's sex time, but
hmm
like television sex
Right.
time. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and I guess the bug attacks them.
hmm
And then my favorite scene in the movie where a goddamn nurse comes in and she flips the fuck out screaming. And then we look at like what she's screaming at, and there's nothing. It's just like a wrecked room. Like, what were you? What the
I
fuck are you
think she
screaming?
I think she's screaming because the bug got out and she's like in trouble now.
I didn't know that everybody was just sharing that information. Oh, there's a bug in there. So don't fuck with it. There's a bug in
Well,
there.
there was the original three ladies. There was the one that sent off for the bug expert. There was the one that was just seemed to be the lab technician, and then there was
Right.
mean blonde
Yeah.
quarantine doctor. So
Quarantine lady, Sigourney Weaver, and hot blonde lady that they probably were like, "You sure you don't want to take your shirt off in
yeah,
this
yeah,
movie?" She's like,
yeah,
"Yeah, I'm not lowering myself to take my shirt off
right.
in this movie and shit." And they're like, "You sure? Okay." No more close-up shots of that fucking actress, kind of. But yeah, but yeah, this nurse just out of nowhere, and she does a great scream, but it was just like, oh my God, what could she? Is it the bug? Is it the bug? And then you see the reverse shot, and it's just like, no, I think we were burgled. I think there was burglars in here, and they put green shit all over this motherfucker.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, they steal the chest cavity scene from the thing.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
it was like such a blatant thing. I was just
but
like, oh,
it
all right. It
with it
worked to its own devices in this movie.
it worked.
Yeah, yeah,
Because this movie is so lacking in any of like real extreme gore,
yeah.
like real like, oh, they could have like, oh, bugs coming in the head, or and just like they could have had like really gross out good effects,
Mhm.
but they're like, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to keep it very simple and just do like one really good like clear, and then it just blows up on everybody,
Yeah,
and it's like,
yeah.
thumbs up,
There
thumbs
was
up
not a
there,
lot of like
ladies.
lube and blood in this movie.
Yeah.
Like
Like,
usually you mix those two to make like goopy alien like not a lot of that going on in this one.
right. Or like, okay, our sex kids,
Mhm,
joint smoking sex people. And like, we see them later on, but they're like in an egg sack. And it's like, oh, we could have like had them down in the basement being eaten by the bugs,
mhm.
but no, no, we don't have the budget for that kind of effect. So we're just going to kind of put them behind like some cellophane and make them go,
Very
"Yeah."
killer clowns from outer space.
Yes.
Um it it's funny because I aren't if I'm not mistaken, aren't they like feeding the babies or something
Yeah,
like
the
that?
babies are eating them. They're
Because at
still
the end of
alive.
yeah, because at the end there's babies, right? Because that's how the movie ends, is like it goes and you hear them like, oh, there's still more
Well,
alive.
fucking Detective Man throws the bottle of butane at him and then blows up all the egg sacs and shit.
Uh
And then it's just the main large female, the
okay, because
queen.
I thought like at the end the camera goes flying through the hospital back to the basement and is like, whoops, except for this, or seemingly. And I thought that they said something like after the movie's over, after he's like hugged the little boy and the movie's over, the camera starts flying through the hallways back to the basement,
It
and I
might
swear
have.
something said along the lines of like it's not over,
It's
or
not, yeah,
there's more or something. They were
maybe.
probably thinking that this movie was going to be amazing and there was going to be more of them,
If
but
we were gonna
no.
make part two, or
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
how many
exactly.
people walked out there like, dude, I can't wait for part two. But it might have happened. I know, like, the second that my brain realized this is the end, shit, everything's all done,
Hmm.
I probably watched that but didn't retain the information. So,
Yeah.
you know, um,
I thought it was over and I looked up and I was like, it's over.
yeah.
And I watched it for like another 30 seconds. It could have just been part of the movie that they were re-showing or something. I don't know, but yeah.
I have no clue. Fucking moving on to the drunk granny, fucking blind drunk granny. It
Yeah,
was
they're
just
the
like,
coolest people in the movie
yeah,
by far.
yeah, just like shit's going down. Come on, let's get fucking wasted,
Yeah,
Helen. You know,
dude. Yeah, she was
like,
like, quarantine doctor was like, "Hey, you can't come in here," and she's like, "Oh, I must have missed the sign," like very clearly
yeah,
blind.
yeah,
And then she's also like, "Well, if she's in quarantine, she's gonna need a friend
yeah.
or company or something like that." It's like that's the OG. That's your home girl right there. That's your best friend
Yeah,
forever,
she's
dude.
winging it, man.
Yeah,
Fucking, she's definitely like, and plus, it's just like, where did she get that fucking Jack Daniels in the
yeah.
hospital?
Well,
Because,
she brought it in because it was in a big ass flask.
yeah, then the little Dixie cups of,
It looked like the fucking flask from Little Nicky. Like it was just an absurdly large metal flask.
right.
Get in the flask, Julian. But yeah, they are the most fun in the movie. They're just like drunk running around like,
Yeah,
why are
just
you guys not infected? Well,
acting
I
the
don't
damn
know.
fool because we're fucking wasted.
Yeah.
Fucking, it would have been great if they would have just been like, no, trash the place. It would have been funnier and shit. Just like the nurse
They're
walks
the
in
killers
and the
somehow.
bottle just fucking like gets smashed right over her head or something. Um, Probably my next favorite thing about this movie. Okay, so the electricity starts just like flickering, like
Mhm,
someone's just flickering a light,
mhm.
and we have this like old handyman down in the boiler room or wherever fucking
Yeah.
looking around, and like they don't give him lines.
Mm-mm.
Maybe like a couple lines. I think he picks up the phone at one point. He's like, "Yeah, I know the lights are fucking up," or something like that. But then he sits down there with a flashlight in the boiler room and he's just making these facial expressions
Hmm.
before the bug comes and gets him. And I'm sitting there watching all these facial expressions, just going, fucking masterpiece. Give me
I
more, dude.
I think they did that for the lack of facial expressions Quarantine Doctor gave
Yeah.
because she gave zero and he gave way too many. So,
Yeah. She's like the person in a Mentos commercial
mhm.
that a person like breaks out Mentos and like does some shit and the person's just like the
Yeah,
second that she learns about the alcohol, it
mhm.
looks like her Mentos face all the time. And that's all I
Yeah,
can see through the whole movie is her Mentos face.
yeah.
But um where are we going now? Smoking in the hospital. These
Smoking in the
kids are
hospital is hilarious.
the fucking these kids just ransacking the fucking place and just
Yeah,
like no one wants to fucking watch the sick
yeah,
kids.
yeah,
You kids go in your room and don't fucking like,
yeah,
no, we're gonna ramsack this
yeah,
motherfucker.
dude.
We're kids.
Trust me, if I was a child and I was dying, I would become a fucking problem. Like, like absolutely.
Yeah. The pregnancy side arc in this movie. Uh,
So random. So
yeah.
random. Like we
Uh
recognize this guy from other things.
Joe Flaherty
Yeah,
from SCTV. I think it's
yeah.
Flaherty.
I think
Um,
so. Yeah, that sounds right.
yeah.
Um, but he plays a great character that is just like mathematical the entire time. Like everything needs to work based on mathematics and blah blah blah. But but that arc when it starts we get it introduced to us, but I was like his character is so over the top that he steals the show from the woman,
Mm,
and the only thing that caught my eye outside of him was simply the smoking in the hospital right next to the
yeah.
pregnant lady. But then she's like, we're in a hospital. He's like, good. It's like I'm still gonna go do all this shit.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
still gonna do this shit,
yeah.
fucking. I was hoping that the arc was gonna turn into she gives birth to a bug creature, that
Mm,
she got infected and it's a baby, but it's a bug baby. It just no, there's just a pregnant lady there, and we got fucking this actor like that's done stuff. He's Canadian. Yeah,
yeah.
we got it,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like it's like do something with this with the bug people and shit. Fucking try to not like, oh no, we can't deliver the baby right now because of the quarantine. You got to keep that thing sucked inside you or something. I don't know if that's how it works or whatnot, but
No, no, no.
yeah. But
Um,
just something, not just like, oh, this is the B plot right here coming in.
I mean,
Fucking
what a not plot though. I mean, like I wouldn't even call it a B plot because it's just something else that's happening in the movie that they focus too much on, oddly.
right,
Like they focus too much on the sick kids. They focus too much on him or the baby thing.
right,
They're focusing too much on the drunk old ladies. Like they did stereotypical things of hospitals, but
right.
they focused too much on them because they were fillers for when they didn't have anything for the main movie
Yeah.
storyline being driven anymore. And they were like, we can't just keep them looking for the bug, or we can't keep using the bug to kill off these people like the electrician and shit because we need to save the reveal and we need to like the
Hmm.
movie needs to be longer than 30 minutes. So they keep shoving these little things in here and it's
Yeah,
like,
here's quarantine. Remember the quarantine? Oh yeah, we're gonna
yeah,
quarantine for
yeah,
some reason,
yeah,
fucking the quarantine. Okay, I remember that. And
hmm,
then like here's bug, and here's
yeah,
pregnancy, here's, kids, it's just like all this shit that
yeah.
kind of like blends,
It
but not
only
like
it only
not really.
does it's like an anthology movie almost. Like there's all these little things, but it's all tied together
Yeah.
through the main storyline of the alien and the hospital.
Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious that in this movie the driver that goes to pick up the bug guy is talking to the military guy and he's like, no, that place is quarantined, you can't go in there. And he's like, but I just left there. And they're like, yeah, it's fine,
Yeah.
but nobody else. Like, what do you, if it's quarantine and he just told you he left
It's
there,
not how
then
quarantine
he
works.
yeah, like you can't just say, yeah, like,
Yeah.
no, he needs to be quarantined and you need to take two steps back. Like, what are you doing just hanging out with him?
There's
Like,
another scene with the nurses where the nurse looks at the head nurse, fucking glasses lady,
mhm,
and they basically say, "We don't feel safe because we've been exposed for so long. We're
mhm,
not going." And it's like, and who gives a fuck? You've been exposed.
mhm.
Fucking, there's not like long-term exposure to this. Fucking, we don't even know what this shit is.
Right.
Fucking, get back in there and do your fucking job, man.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, no, they're trying to piss off and shit. And then like the army's just like, yeah, you ain't leaving. You ain't leaving. It's like, okay, I guess we go back to work. Shit, fuck, we can't even go home. Bug costume. What'd you think?
I it just it when I first saw it when it was like crawling in the boiler room when you know you kind of first get a good gander at it, all I thought was Honey I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah,
That ant from Honey I Shrunk the Kids. That's all I thought. It was
I
like
was
did
thinking like the episode of fucking Power Rangers.
hmm,
Like someone in that costume and
yeah,
shit, fucking,
yeah,
and then leads me to after like that bug costume, that whole ending where the bug is running amok through
uh,
the fucking,
yeah,
and they're doing like the Evil Dead cameras, and I thought some of those Evil Dead cameras looked really good.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but then it just runs amok, and my brain had a hard time processing like what's happening here. I
Well,
know the bug is running, but fucking like detective man, oh, I get hit and I fall
yeah,
down and fucking, or I get smashed up against this, but I'm getting back up and I'm running, and then there's like people like all over the place just like panicking, running back and forth, and I'm just, whoa, what, this is crazy. And then there is that one great decapitation in the movie, or kind of just like a pull, they
yeah,
pull the head off and
yeah.
shit, fucking, I thought that was kind of cool, so
The the thing that like confused me was like you obviously you never see this thing as a whole.
yeah.
Um, but the scene where the cop man runs and jumps through the window of the hospital ward room area, where he jumps through the window away from the front of it, but the back of it is still in the hallway trying to get through the window, and it's like that's the closest you get to a
Mhm.
whole image of it, and you're just looking at it like this thing doesn't make any sense. Like it is the
Yeah, like
whole,
the
and it's like the front of it's like pinchers, but also praying
praying
mantis,
mantis. It's
but ant
bug. Think
head.
bug. What
But
bugs?
yeah,
What's some
yeah.
bugs?
Well, what kind of bugs should we model this after? All of them.
All of them.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I don't know. It just like when I saw that, I was like, ah, man, I don't know. Like I think that this could have been elevated a lot with a more scarier
Bug.
thing. Yeah. And then don't go bug. Or if you're gonna go bug, make like a lot of bugs, like arachnophobia, like a lot of fast moving bugs. Not one big giant bug that you can't penetrate with bullets
Hmm.
and is slow, but also fast, but sneaky, but huge somehow. But it was like they tried to shove too much on it. Like
Yeah.
just make it an alien, make it some type of weird, like the blob does perfect. Like
Yeah.
just it's a goop and you can't stop it.
Yeah. I would
That
definitely
works.
love to see this be remade,
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
into
A
not
better
a,
version of
a
itself.
better version of itself. Yeah. This
Yeah,
is something that could, be definitely remade
for
into.
sure. For sure.
But but on that note, Jacob, let's get down to it. Jacob, would you go see this at the theater?
Maybe if it was at the $1.50 and I was stoned, I would probably go
I'm
watch
not
it.
going for any more than $1.50 on this
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. When I say
Uh,
$1.50, I mean the old theater that shows old movies, like
right,
not
right.
the current stuff.
No, I wouldn't go. I
Yeah,
think I wouldn't go to this. Would you own a copy of this?
no, I don't feel the need to.
I wouldn't mind owning a copy of this, like
You
on
probably do in one
DVD.
of
Yeah,
those
probably
big box
somewhere
sets.
around here.
I,
Holy shit,
uh,
Blue Monkey. Fuck, I didn't
yeah,
know I
yeah,
even had this shit,
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't mind owning a copy of this if I could. And Jacob, is this a cult classic?
I think yes.
I think yes. I think yes too.
I'm not sure, but
It
I
just
feel
hits
like
those
yes, it does.
marks
It really
where,
does. It really does.
like, if you don't know what this is, like, on the sense of like, it's only certain people know about it, and it's like just real private of a movie. So,
Well, one of the things it's like is Slumber Party Massacre a cult classic? Yes,
yes,
it was, but it's become popular.
it's become popular. Yeah.
Right after our review, it blew up. Everybody knows about the movie now. It no
We're
longer
sorry for
holds.
making
Yeah,
Slumber Party
yeah.
Massacre not a
It's
cult
not a
classic
cult.
anymore.
It's not cult classic anymore.
Yeah, it's fucking
But this one fits it
cliche, fucking
perfectly.
mainstream
Yeah,
junk.
yeah, yeah.
Fuck.
Um, but
So
yeah,
sorry we
yeah,
did that to Blue Monkey now.
yeah. We're now Blue Monkey's gonna be on.
It's gonna
It's
be
gonna
blown
rise
up.
high, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed this one. So
I did. It was hard to watch, but I look at it fondly. I didn't
yeah.
love it while I was watching it though.
Would you recommend it to people?
Yeah, somebody else has got to have to deal with this bullshit.
Yeah, I'll recommend it to people, definitely. Fuck,
Yeah,
it's
it's
different.
worth watching. It's fun.
Yeah. Have
Don't go
fun.
into it seriously though.
Yeah, don't go serious. Riff on it, like laugh at it because it's supposed to it works better, when
Yeah.
you enjoy and just make fun.